One of the most competitive segments in the local car industry is the subcompact crossover segment. Aside from the huge demand, I feel that this is the segment that has evolved the most in terms of giving you more for your money. A lot of the contenders in this segment are below 1.2 million pesos, but they offer you features and performance that's hard to find in cars that cost twice as much. One of the first players that elevated what you should come to expect from a subcompact crossover was the MG ZS. And that was released back in 2018. And since then, there have been more and more players that now offer better features and better performance. But now there's a new variant, the MG ZST, and the T stands for turbo. And today we're gonna find out if it has what it takes to stay in the game. When the MG ZS first came out, a lot of people accused it of being inspired by other manufacturers. But now I think it's established its own identity. Up front, you get an obsidian matrix grille. You also get snake-like design DRLs, projector-type LED headlights, and fog lights with turn assist. Along the side, you get simple body lines and a rising belt line that gives the MG ZST a distinct look. You also get 17-inch wheels, and behind those wheels are disc brakes, front and back, which is true indication that this packs some serious power. At the back, you get these gorgeous rear taillights and functional rear fog lamps. Now there are fake air vents and fake exhausts, but overall this is a very appealing package. Opening the trunk is done manually, but it's very light and it reveals 359 liters of cargo space, and you can double that by folding the rear seats because they fold 60-40. The load lift also isn't too high, so it's easy to get belongings in and out of the trunk. Now let's go check out the rest of the interior. Now moving on to the interior, you'll see that the design is pretty much unchanged compared to the previous ZS. However, it has made leaps and bounds in terms of the choice of materials because you get soft touch materials on top of the dash and all touch points are really soft. There's also this carbon fiber finish and contrast stitching to complement that. The seats are made of synthetic leather and also have contrast stitching. And I love how it has the MG logo embroidered in it to really give it an upscale look. But aesthetics aside, these seats are also very comfortable and they provide really good bolstering and under thigh support. They're also power adjustable. Another thing worth mentioning here is the fact that these are heated seats, which is practically unheard of in this segment. Now the steering wheel only adjusts for tilt, but it's very easy to find your ideal driving position because the dashboard and the belt lines are pretty low. You also get a lot of buttons on the steering wheel, but nothing is overwhelming because they are strategically placed and using it doesn't take too much getting used to. Now moving on to the infotainment system, you get this nicely integrated 10-inch touchscreen which comes standard with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. This also houses the 360 camera, which gives you a 3D view of your surroundings. You can also control the air conditioning system via the touchscreen, but it's also good to know that you get physical buttons for your audio and AC controls, so you can operate this without looking. Moving on to the rear seats, you'll find that there is more than enough space here. I have adequate leg and headroom, and I am sitting quite comfortably. Now as far as amenities go, you don't get a center armrest. However, you do get rear air vents and 2 charge ports, which I think is more important. You also get 2 map pockets and one of the biggest panoramic sunroofs I've seen in the class. But it doesn't end there, because where the ZST really leads is in terms of safety. Because you'll be hard-pressed to find another subcompact crossover at this price point that offers you features like rear cross traffic alert, blind spot detection, and lane keep assist. But is this all show and no go, or can it now keep up with the other contenders in terms of performance? So under the hood of the MG ZST, you get a 1.3-liter 4-cylinder engine that puts out a whopping 163 horsepower and 230 Newton meters of torque. Now let's see what that feels like. Wow, so that's definitely not what you're expecting from a 1.3-liter engine. Granted that it is turbocharged. This thing is extremely powerful and can go head-to-head with some of the top contenders in the segment. However, it's not just about the power delivery. Even if you're not a speed demon, this is a good to have because it makes the MG ZST feel very light on its feet, and that makes driving an effortless affair. Now this is mated to a 6-speed conventional automatic transmission, which is a good thing because it does a good job in shifting. It shifts very smoothly and it is quick to downshift when you need more power. Furthermore, you don't have to deal with the droning of a CVT or the jerkiness of a dry-type DCT. Personally speaking, I love that it has a conventional 6-speed automatic transmission. Now in terms of comfort, there really isn't anything more you could ask for. This does have a torsion beam suspension at the back, but the ride is never jarring. And as far as comfort is concerned, NVH is also really good. You hardly hear any noise creep into the cabin. This ticks all the boxes in terms of what you want from a daily driver. It's easy to drive, there's enough power, and it feels rather efficient. Now I don't have the official fuel mileage numbers yet, but having a 1.3-liter engine has to count for something. Now, as far as steering is concerned, this doesn't have the quickest steering ratio out there, but there are 3 different modes that you could choose from. But even on its most dynamic setting, the steering still is a little bit too light for my taste. But nonetheless, as a daily driver, no complaints here. Now, when you think about why crossovers are becoming such a popular segment in this country, it really is no mystery why. And the MG ZST really delivers on all fronts because you get 173 millimeters of ground clearance. So you can drive without worrying about scraping the undercarriage. And being a crossover, it still feels like a car to drive. So you still get the convenience and the driving dynamics of a regular car. The MG ZST can be yours for 1,158,000 pesos. And that price is truly remarkable because as far as performance is concerned, none of its competitors can put this to shame. And as far as safety features are concerned, this actually leads the pack. And that goes to show that the MG ZST is definitely still in the game.